Welcome to Smart Haus, a Pittsburgh podcast about smart technologies, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and the future. I'm your host, Dustin Dowling, and today we got Chris Harper, host of the Poor Man's Podcast. But actually, let's not care about that right now. Let's get right into headlines. Lawsuit claims Google's Order Online button directs customers away from restaurants' websites. A copy of the lawsuit alleges Google does the old bait and switch by placing its Order Online button at the top of restaurants' profile on the search engine. The large blue button redirects users to food.google.com, where you place an order through apps like Postmates, DoorDash, and Uber Eats, not the restaurant itself. These can take a commission from the restaurants running anywhere from 15 to 30%. All right, it gets even more shady. Because in 2019, Grubhub was criticized. That means you don't get in trouble. Well, that's what that means. For buying thousands of domain names that resemble certain restaurants without the restaurants knowing about it. The city of Chicago sued Grubhub and DoorDash. Now, of course, I couldn't find anything like who won or who settled because they were just criticized. Like you said, you watch TikTok maybe sometimes. Like you ever watch those TikToks that just kind of don't end? Like, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. End of the TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, that's what these articles now. It's like, next time on Smart Haus.
They got to see if you get to the end of the article. It's all about the attention span.
That's all about. And then you have to go back and forth. Like, did I miss it?
Yeah.
Because I don't read articles from top to bottom, really. That's
no.
how I do research.
I have a bone to pick with Grubhub in general because I work in a restaurant. And
restaurant guys.
I'm not a big fan of them. They're not great. And I mean, when we closed down for the pandemic and stuff, just dealing with DoorDash.
So I guess you don't have a Dash Pass?
I do.
Oh, you do have a Dash Pass.
I'm a hypocrite. I am a hypocrite.
That's hilarious.
I hate. Okay, let me tell you. I hate being part of it, but I hate leaving my house more. And I will. I'll have. Well, I haven't done it as much because I've had another bad experience. I had a guy deliver my food to my house, park out front.
Yeah.
I went out to get it, and then he pulled up the street, and then I was like, "What's going on?" And then he just left. Like, he brought my food to my house and then left. Like, if you're gonna steal my food or whatever, just steal it. Why do you have to eat it in front of me?
That's the thing. I guess if they do that, they put it.
He wanted to make eye contact.
Well, you got to take the
think.
picture, I think, to get like the money, so you get paid. But I think that's really funny if like he just takes it and then says "fuck it." Like
he's probably trying to say it's delivered.
What do you want? But yeah, that's what they do. They take the picture and then they just head out.
Oh, well, you know what? I took a screenshot of that dude. I think I have his phone number in my phone still.
Did you like hit the button?
His name was Kenny. If he's watching, I don't know what I can say, but
you can say "fuck Kenny."
Okay, fuck Kenny.
I do try not to swear.
I won't. Well, yeah.
This is what I also realized. Like I was talking to you earlier. If anyone was watching before the podcast started, was how I present myself and how I try to do these podcasts. And at first, like, oh, it's a smart podcast, technical, and like I'll be witty, but professional. And man, about like 10, 15 minutes in, I'm like, hey, these fucking guys. It's over this crowd, like I'm like, you know what? I gotta stop trying so hard. I mean, it is called Smart Haus. You didn't realize it is a Pittsburgh Podcast.
Oh no, I noticed.
And that's why I kind of did the whole thing. So anyways, you are a podcaster, and that's why you're on the show, Chris. And your show is called the Poor Man's Podcast.
Yes.
Please tell me about this podcast.
Yes. So it's gonna be in April. It'll be a year that we've been doing it. Really. And it's been growing pretty good recently. You know, I have some pretty decent guests on. We try to have comedians on, local interest people, but it's trying to be all the local stories with a touch of humor. We do, our weekend guide. Every week we team up with stuff to do in Pittsburgh. They give us their weekend guide. And then we kind of talk about it, not make fun of it, but we make fun with it. This sounds good. This is an experience we had when we did this last year at the pajama run.
Now,
or
sometimes you want to make fun of it, and you're just there's a voice in your back. It's like, I want to keep making these podcasts, so I can't rip on everybody.
I feel like you can tell how we feel pretty strongly when we're like real gung ho about this. Sounds awesome. There's the Pet Expo there. That sounds really good. Nothing against that, but some of them are bar crawls, and I prefer that.
That's funny. When I bring Matt on, when we do the Matt Light podcast, it's tough not to have the opposite because that's a hater vibe. He has more of a hater vibe. Not to say he hates on everything, but you kind of get like, yeah, it's hilarious, make fun, and then later like, the beer was fine. Why are we so mean to these beer?
Oh yeah, well. if you cut it off, I'm very honest about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to throw any of the business owners under the bus. Now, there are other parts, I had like the last 2 weeks, I found people on Facebook and stuff, and they like take these pictures, they like put stuff on the dry erase board, and then they'll take a picture with themselves with it.
Yeah.
And then like post it. I'm like, why don't you just write that and post it? You just want like the look at me thing. And I hate like these people who like go out of their way to like add themselves to being part of whatever they have to say. So the last couple of weeks I've had a vendetta against them. I don't like street sweeping. But yeah, I do complain about a lot of things. So don't let that.
Street sweeping. We can do a topic about street sweeping. What's your views on street sweeping?
Okay, so this is, at least in Bellevue, so you can't park on the side of the street from 8 to noon or whatever. Okay, fine. Absolutely. When the street sweeper goes through at 9, I should be allowed to park there at 9:30 because you've done your job. When I get ticketed at 11:30, when the street sweeper went by at 9, I feel like that's not really in the spirit of the law.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I feel like you're kind of
you should get ticketed like when the street sweeper comes at you.
Yeah.
Like, that's when that's how it actually kind of works.
If it's pre-street sweeper, ticket me. Absolutely. Post-street sweeper, you have no business.
That's such a good point. Like, who am I saving the spot for now?
Right.
It's like the same thing. You merge at the merge point. Like, why is everyone in one lane? There's been 3 miles of 2 lanes. This makes 0 sense. Like, this is just turned into a dumb house. This is like no one likes the roads around here. We got the bus problems. We're going to move in with some other headlines, if you don't mind there, Chris.
Please.
Here's we goes. Microsoft and its HoloLens-based military AR headset are expecting bad feedback. Microsoft is supposedly gearing up for field tests its HoloLens-based military AR headset. However, a new report contends that the company is bracing for impact as it's expecting negative feedback from soldiers. Have you ever seen what these things look like, Chris?
Like the Oculus or whatever you put on?
Basically.
I've never used one. I've seen them.
So, but you never used a VR headset at all then?
No.
Oh, so this is an AR headset. So it's slightly different. Do you know what the difference is?
Okay, no, I don't know that.
VR is virtual reality. Okay. AR is augmented reality. Okay. Augmented reality.
I gotcha.
And the best way to describe that, have you ever seen or played Pokemon Go?
Yes.
With the phone. That's augmented
reality. I'm almost on level 40. Now, I know it doesn't matter anymore. But it's a big deal to me.
That's a flex on the podcast right now. All kind of views and stuff. Oh my goodness, likes. Yeah. So obviously I could see it for the military. Yeah. So you put this whole headgear on. It looks like a VR headgear, but it has the glass over top. And so like when you look at things, it can have like some kind of super or some kind of text over something, maybe like a percentage, or you look down at your weapon, right. Your weapon, it has like this many bullets, heat, whatever else, communication. It looks really cool. What I see, what's funny though, is I've seen other tech people like test it out, and it looks like someone's in the Blair Witch movie. And when I say it is like, in Blair Witch, if you've seen the movie, when there's something wrong with them, they go stand in the corner and they're just staring at the corner. That's what they look like. So the guy's like on the AR headset and he's just kind of staring into space because he's on the headset, and the headset has like hand sensors and stuff, so you're moving your hands like this to like do things, but it looks creepy. It looks like you're possessed. So I don't know exactly how, but the military
it's a matter of time before it becomes porn, right? I feel like that's how anything is. It's just how long until we can turn it into some kind of porn.
What would that do? I guess
I don't know, but I guarantee one day we find it.
Well, VR has porn, obviously.
Yeah.
So AR, I guess, and just make your girlfriend look better. It just makes hooking up with like women that you don't prefer just look all right. Yeah. I think in Blade Runner, in the new Blade Runner, they have that.
There you go. You could just swipe out. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
now it looks like your sister. No, it looks like kidding.
That's the step sister thing. That's a different subject. We don't need to talk about that.
I meant my girlfriend's sister, not mine.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that shit.
I'm just talking to what. Hey, I just know it's trending on the Pornhub.
I so didn't mean that.
Yeah, and you just forward through the first 10
I'm not judging. I mean, I kind of am judging that, but.
Listen, the plot's only in the first 10 seconds. Once you scroll past, it's just regular sex. See, you don't understand.
I gotcha.
Can you do a Yinzer accent?
Not very well.
You were going to try.
I was going to, and I was like, I can't. I don't do accents.
Yeah?
No, not very well at all. I can start doing it, and then when I like hear myself, I like drift off, and it turns kind of Cockney.
See, I always think I don't have a really good Yinzer accent. Yeah. I have like this hick accent because I live about an hour and a half north.
Yeah.
And it's like mixed with the Yinzer accent. So it just like kind of dumbness and slurs and everything's plural. It's like you don't go to Walmart, you go to Walmart's.
Yeah.
Okay, you go to Giant Eagles and the Walmart's.
For
and
sure.
you know, there's both of them and they both don't go a lot as well because there's the deliveries now, but it's how I do my works.
I feel like I can't do the fake one, but when I drink, a real one definitely comes out. It's just
There's
like
a Yinzer
emerged in me.
inside you.
That it's something when the Iron
well-
City hits and it sprouts,
Everyone has a deep
starts bashing
deep
Cordell
into
Stewart
it.
again.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, see, that shows your age a little bit. Cordell Stewart reference. I'm talking about some of these movies. I'm like, man, I don't know how old this guy is.
I was
Like,
born in '90.
I was born in the 80s. All right. Well, that's the difference for me and you.
Yeah.
So
I'm an
speaking-
old soul.
You're an
Dustin.
old. Okay, well, that's good. Well, then speaking of like social media and stuff like that, I wanted to bring this up about closed captions.
Yeah.
So when you're going through Facebook or anything, do you notice the closed captions?
Yeah.
At all? Do you know?
I think I notice a lot of things, especially now since I've been doing the podcast and the video stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever anybody posts stuff or edits anything, I'm like, I have a more keen eye to it, I
Yeah,
think.
you're not watching it for
Yeah.
entertainment per se.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, oh, that's how they do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's there.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I've been doing this for a long time, and recently I've really noticed closed cap. They're on everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the TikToks. They're on Netflix. You can kind of put it on anything, and they're like fast.
Yeah.
And for a lot of technology that, at least, you know, years ago, someone literally had to sit down and type that up.
Yeah.
And now there's AI that's figuring it out, or you can do both. Sometimes there's like an AI and you kind of go in and fix it.
Yeah.
But now the AI is getting to a point where it's like perfect.
Yeah.
And not only is it perfect, it's timed up perfectly. So I'm like curious, is like how long do you think it is until now we're going to start understanding everybody?
Yeah.
Like the language barrier is going to be gone.
Like basically you hear something else and it'll be able to translate it in real time.
Yeah, I think it will be more than the closed caption. It will be. I'll be watching a video, and the person will be from Japan, and I'm gonna hear it, you know, just like they're speaking English.
Yeah. Or maybe you could even get earbuds and go to Japan.
Yeah, and I
And
think
it'll
it's,
translate it
they
back.
kind of have like Google Translate supposedly has something like that, but it's not at the point where it's like as you're talking, it's immediately translating.
Yeah.
So like for closed caption, that's basically what's happening because you can read it at the same time. So now if I'm watching a video from Japan, say on TikTok, I can read it in English at the same time, even though I can hear it. So that's close.
Yeah.
But I think the next step is hearing it, and like I don't know, like am I gonna hear it in a weird voice? You know,
Yeah.
Is
Have it
gonna
in
be-
Morgan Freeman or Samuel Jackson's.
yeah. Well, that's happening now. I think on TikTok you can change voiceovers into like the rat from Guardians. He's not a rat. What is he?
The fox.
Yeah, the fox.
Fake.
It's Bradley Cooper.
Or no, not a fox, the raccoon.
The raccoon.
Yeah.
It's Bradley Cooper, like angry. Yeah, like, it's like an angry.
They have
Bradley
that on
Cooper.
like Waze. You can have.
Yes.
I was driving over today, and it's like, do you want Christina Aguilera to do your? I was. No, I'm good.
How's that work?
I don't know.
Turn to the left. Oh
She
no!
kept calling
you
it
missed that
dirty.
street.
Why is my car so dirty?
She does there's a great bit that she would do for Saturday Night Live and I think a couple talk shows where they would come, like one bit was Spotify was broken
Okay.
and now they need to have all the songs and they would just have her do impressions of all these and she was fantastic.
Yeah.
She could sing like every other artist. That
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Can you sing?
I cannot at all.
man,
I don't
that
do impressions, accent. I notice and
surprised.
complain.
Which is why you have a podcast.
Yeah.
Notice and complain.
Yeah, and
That
I
is-
watch things.
that is a
Yeah.
podcast. So to complaining, I'm going to complain about more news headlines. So
Yeah.
Kanye has dropped a new album.
Okay.
But he's in the news all the time. It feels like
Yeah.
he's always dropping a new album. And it's called Donda 2, which is the sequel to last year's Donda. I think it's Donda, not Donda. Donda. And it did not come out on Spotify. It did not come out on Apple. It released exclusively on the STEM player.
Okay.
This is a Kanye product. It's a $200 gadget that he believes will be revolutionary, even though it only has 8 gigs. It has 8 gigs. I don't know what you can do, be revolutionary, but it reminds me of like a bop it thing, you know, like bop it, twist it, because it's like an Amazon circle thing.
Okay.
And like you press a button, or like I guess you more than press. It's like a touch thing, and you can hear like just the voice part. You can localize the stems. That's why it's called STEM player.
Okay.
So, but he's only put like a little bit of the song on it, you know, and like I guess you can like update it randomly or whatever.
So what? So can can anybody else play music on it? It's only this album.
Right now it's only this album.
Okay.
You know, but it's like his device. So like if he decides he hates all that music, you wake up tomorrow morning and it's like a different album.
Well, he's always, you know, on his P's and Q's. He seems to be real, you know, mentally stable. I don't see him doing anything erratic. I put all my faith in Kanye West.
Oh, I agree.
This guy right here.
Yeah.
I'd trust him with my life.
It is one of those things where it's like, okay, I don't think this as a product would make any money. The idea seems kind of cool, but I bet I have an app or something that does the same thing. Yeah. But here I am talking about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
I think it's one of those things that people will buy so like they could take a picture like I have it.
Yes.
This is it. And then there's no value to it.
Yeah. But eventually there will be a thing where like I got the Kanye device. Yeah. And no, you can't even hear Kanye music unless you have this thing. Yeah. Like that will be and then it's the exact opposite. We're like, oh man, dude's got the Kanye. We're going to this party because he's got a stem player.
But how long before one person buys it, puts it on YouTube, and then if I want to listen to it, I'll listen to the video on YouTube?
I don't know. It's this weird how's the pipeline and workflow? Is it going to be secure? You know, someday there are going to be really powerful. I mean, Russia. Yeah. They everything shut off over there. Yeah. So like if you were an Instagram star, a podcaster, any type of creator, you're done. Yeah. So that sucks. Oh. So imagine that. Like I guess it's not happening. You know, if you were that way in Ukraine, you're done. Yeah. So that's rough. I know I'm going to say it's rough, but it's really rough. Yeah. I don't know what to say about it. I don't live over there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Podcast is probably the least of their concern.
Right. Exactly. So I try not to talk about politics on this show. So we're going to move on from others. Any other thoughts on Kanye dropping this device?
It seems very on brand for him to just do something. Yeah. And he's very, I don't know. He's like kind of a genius in a way with like putting out things. Yeah. He just puts out things that people are interested in. His name is in the media all the time.
It's less about like making products that work, having things that work. And it's just about successfully launching yourself into the top of the news. Yeah. Constantly.
This is like ice to Eskimos right here. Like I can just do whatever I want.
I almost secretly think that like Pete Davidson, Kanye, and AB are just like hanging out and are best friends, and they're just like, these fucking people, man, we are like stars now, guys. Like we could run this country. Yeah. It's like
you're not wrong about that at all.
Pete, you want to go to the White House next year? Dude, Pete, you be a Democrat next year. I'll be the Republican, and then you run, and we'll run against each other. And like it's like that's jokingly, but it's almost at the same time. I can see that.
Kim could be the first lady or VP or whatever, and then you could have AB as VP on the other side.
You know how funny that would be?
AB for VP.
If like Pete somehow does that whole thing now, he gets into politics, and then Kim finds her way back into the White House again. And then eventually Kim's the president. Oh my God. It's gonna be, and before that, maybe Jake Paul, you know, that's how that's gonna start happening.
He'll have to beat a washed up fighter to win the presidential nominee.
Or lose, you know, like fake lose or whatever. So to go on with some more scary stuff and having people take over the world, have you or seen any deep fakes lately?
I did not, other than the one you were telling me about before, because I had no idea what it was.
Right, the Luke Skywalker. Yeah. So if we've talked about this on the show a couple times, but deep fakes is basically an AI algorithm software that takes a bunch of pictures of someone's face from all different kind of angles. So obviously, if you're someone like Joe Rogan or a famous actor, it's very accessible to get that data information. And then you can basically project it, in a sense, on another person. And it looks freaking super real now. Like, perfect.
Once again, how long before porn?
Yeah. Oh, that's already happening. I've already seen the Christina Aguilera. Oh, no, it wasn't Christina Aguilera. It was the other artist we were talking about already. I've already seen that. But it was old a couple years ago. And the face was, like, shifting. But now I'm sure it's
I'm sure it's better now.
But it is, like, scary. So, like, in the new, it wasn't The Mandalorian. It was the Boba Fett. Yeah, they had Luke Skywalker on that one. They had him also in The Mandalorian. But in the Boba Fett one, the technology's way better.
Yeah, I agree.
It freaking, if you didn't know, you'd be like, that's Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Like, how'd they do that?
Yeah.
It's Mark Hamill in his 20s. It makes no sense. But here's the scary part, too. So he's talking.
Yeah.
He's talking. It's not Mark Hamill talking.
Oh, really?
They didn't bring him in and whatever. And that's completely AI also.
Oh, that's weird.
Someone just typed that up. So if you do listen to it, it sounds very monotone.
Yeah.
So they did same thing. They took like voice recordings of Mark Hamill and stuff like that. And now it's just whatever they want to do with it.
There should be the irony of like taking away Mark Hamill, one of the best VO guys. You're taking away his voice.
Yeah, because that's really funny. Because personally, I think Mark Hamill is one of the worst casted characters in all of Star Wars.
Yeah,
like, I'm like kind of bored. The Luke character he's a bored character. I'm bored of that character.
When I hear Mark Hamill, I think the Joker voice more than I think Skywalker.
Yes, it would have made so much more sense if they would have turned Luke Skywalker into some kind of villain.
Yeah.
And then like Mark Hamill could have like used those chops.
Yeah.
But like that's just a different thing. But back to like the actual thing of deep fakes. And they're obviously they're putting into these huge shows, and it's almost like a flex. You know, that the scene in that episode was interesting and cool, and what they really were doing was kind of going back and almost redoing all the scenes in, I think, episode 4. I'm trying to get my Star Wars right, who knows? But it's the one with Luke Skywalker. He's through with Yoda and he's jumping through stuff. They basically like redid.
Oh, right.
You didn't. Sorry, I'm like ruining the episode for you. You didn't see that last episode.
I didn't see the very last of the
Boba Fett. So it's like a straight up like flex, just to show that like this person does not actually exist.
Yeah.
You're watching CGI.
Look at what we can do.
Look at what we can do.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's really awesome. And I'm like, and then we got World War III kind of creeping up, and I'm like, how close is this? Until I'm just watching TV, and I'm like, is that Biden?
Right.
Because he already talks really slow and monotone. You know, and like it seems pretty easy to probably fake that.
Yeah.
So that's our future with that. So how do you think about that?
It's like terrifying. I mean, it used to be like, okay, we need video evidence for this. Now, does video evidence even exist anymore, if that exists?
And even before that, when we actually had real video evidence, people were manipulating that.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of don't show the first part, you don't show the second part, then you actually see a second angle, and it actually does look different.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna fake voices. We got people like me who can like edit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can just kind of like cut things together. Fake faces. Nothing's real, Chris.
Yeah.
Nothing's real.
There's stuff I've seen on TikTok of like a waterfall and you know, some place in the Middle East that like, and there's like, you know, satellites going and like it's all edited and people are like, that's beautiful. How did they get the sun's waterfall to do that?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God,
did you know there's waterfalls on the moon? I just saw this TikTok. It's like, you guys, oh my God.
Like the water's flowing in like up. It's going up. They edited the waterfall upside down.
It's scary. It's scary. I don't know what kids are gonna do to make the difference. I feel like I'm always at a point where I'm very strong of like, that's fake.
Yeah.
Whatever. I sometimes I hear my parents or hear older people like look at an email or even take a phone call now. I think is like a sign of like you don't know if you ever see someone like look at a phone and you can see it's just a number.
Yeah.
Like it's not on their contacts and they answer it.
No.
I'm like,
I've never seen that.
What are you doing? What? And it's like, Bub, stop answering the phone. It's a robot. You're talking to a robot. Like, stop answering the phone.
Yeah.
I think that's why. So I guess you don't answer the phone anymore.
Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh, that's good.
You can leave a message if I don't know the number, and
which
I'll
is
get
weird
back to
too
you.
because it's probably full of like a bunch of other fake
and then
messages.
I'll find ways to not have to call you back because I don't like. I'll text you and email you.
Yeah,
But,
I'll text you back.
Why do you want? You don't want to hear my voice.
At some point in time, people were in a room and the phone rang. Very loud sound. I don't think you can hear what a real phone. Actually, there's a phone over there. And it's an old school phone. I don't think it would ring right now, just to hear that sound. And then someone had to walk over, not having a single clue who was on the other line, and answer hello.
Yeah. Or they'd say Hopper residence or something, whatever it was.
Yeah,
they used to be professional.
They used to be professional.
Not
about
like
it. Yeah, Hopper residence.
Oh,
Chris is speaking.
Yeah. My father's not in right now.
Yeah. Did you do that?
No, I didn't. No, I mean, I answered the phone, but I don't think I was that formal.
Yeah.
I don't remember
I was
that.
scared to death to answer that phone.
I used to be okay, and then like once I got a cell phone, I stopped answering.
That's
but-
fine. I was scared to order pizza.
Yeah.
My family, hey, like, you order. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What,
I
what do I
used to- yeah.
say?
Yeah.
What do I just say? Do you want a pepperoni pizza? Yeah, but what if they ask like what my name? You know,
Yeah.
there was this whole like thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have the worst anxiety with so many things. It's just like, just go do that. Just ask them. No.
Yeah, I gave
Like if I went to a restaurant and you brought me the wrong food and then like spit on it in front of me, I'd be
eating
like,
that food.
okay, here's 30%.
Yeah, don't change my man.
Yeah.
Don't change what I'm gonna do at
Yeah.
all. That's so funny. That's how I am. Oh, here's our.
I don't remember what the original one. Oh, it was the deep fake. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the deep fake. So here's our last headlines right here. This is like a cooler one. So Mario Kart is getting 48 remastered courses over the next 2 years. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch is getting new courses, and they are set to arrive on March 18th. That's very soon.
It's Friday.
And will include Coconut Mall for Mario Kart Wii, Choo Choo Mountain for Mario Kart 64, and Tokyo Blur from Mario Kart Tour. The full booster course DLC. Do you know what DLC stands for?
Downloadable content.
It is. That is what it stands for. It's going to cost you $24.99. That's for the 48 courses. But yada, 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 tier subscriptions, you know, you can get it cheaper. But that's how it is. That game's been out for, I don't know, ever.
Yeah.
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And now, like, if you want new courses,
Yeah.
you got to pay up. Are you a karter?
I am, but not Mario Kart.
Okay.
Mario Kart, I never had Nintendo. I always had PlayStation. So I was a CTR Crash Team Racing guy.
Okay.
So I did get the remastered, and I got all the DLC for. I'm a big Crash Team
Yeah, you're
Racing
a
guy.
Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's
So I'm
funny.
a PlayStation guy. Now my kids like Nintendo, and my son loves Mario. So
Yeah.
I will probably see this. We have all the Hot Wheels cars of Mario Kart.
Oh,
that
okay.
stuff is actually pretty cool. That's one thing I will recommend about having kids is that they're once they get the right age, their toys are really cool.
Their toys are cool. Yeah, that's funny. I was at the point now where I can no longer beat my daughter at Mario Kart and Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And it is frustrating because
Yeah.
every once in a while, though, I'll get a first place on her, but not like the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'll get like one first place out of like 8 races. Man, does she get mad? Yeah, she gets mad, but I'm like, I gotta get that one in there. And it's so like she's good because it's just something about being young and just having the fingers. I don't know what it is. She's taking the turns better, but I am so much more strategic.
Yeah.
Like I'm really planning out like my boosts, so I like can like do the shortcut and like you know like and that's the only way I can
experience.
win.
Yeah.
I can't win by straight up racing her.
Yeah.
I gotta like throw something at her.
You have the lines lined up before.
Talk some shit. If you talk some shit, you can get her off the game.
Oh yeah. What's that over there?
Yeah, that pisses her off though. So I try not to do that. She's only 12. But I don't like losing. So I'll probably end up getting this too. I think it's crazy that I bought a game, bought a system, and now I'm paying another half. But
Yeah, that
it's
is.
fine.
It's
It's the
just-
best game though. Mario Kart is like my favorite game.
I for the remastered stuff, I did that, and then I also got the Tony Hawk Pro Skater remastered, and I love that. Is probably my favorite game. It's my favorite soundtrack of any game.
Well,
is Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
That
2.
was a big deal, I think, was the soundtrack. So
Yeah.
you're a major push button guy because that game's really about like kind of like almost doing like code and cheats.
Yeah.
As you play the game.
I have every like I would beat the game 100% with every skater on every level with everything. I have like the way I would go like hanger number 1. I'll get all those done in the first 2 minutes.
Can you skate for real at all?
I can skate.
Okay.
I can't do any tricks, but I can like skate. If we went, I could skate on it, and I could probably go down a ramp, but not like down a half pipe, like just like a slightly slanted surface.
Can you do the thing where you like do the drag, where they keep it like they drag it and then jump on it? Can you do that?
Oh yeah, I could probably.
Okay,
do
I
that.
always see the TikTok video of people just doing the drag part, but they never jump on to the skateboard.
When they fall. Yeah.
No, they
edit it
joke.
out.
They just joke out. So they like the cool part is you grab the skateboard and you drag it, and usually you throw it down and get on it.
Yeah.
But they just never get on it, and the video just keeps going like they're he's gonna get on it, he's gonna get on it.
Yeah.
He's never gets on it, and it just keeps cutting to that. I think that's hilarious. It's silly.
That would drive me crazy. I would just get frustrated.
So that's all our headlines, Chris. So we're going to just try to talk a little bit about smart devices, the smart future, and stuff like that. Do you have any smart devices at all besides your phone?
My girlfriend has an Alexa.
An Alexa, that's the Amazon thing.
The Amazon.
Amazon.
Amazon Alexa.
It's the Amazon. Her name is Kamala Amala Harris. That's what we call her in this household. Let's get branded. So sorry, I forget. I think
you crushed that impression of my girlfriend.
Yeah, I think Matt lights here sometimes when he's not here.
I just can't do the Yinzer impression. I can't go back and forth.
How do you use Alexa, or how does your girlfriend use Alexa?
I will do it when I'm in the kitchen. If I'm cooking or something, I'll play music.
Just music.
And that's all I do.
Don't ask her questions.
My kids will ask her to tell her a joke. I actually have a clip that we did on the podcast. If you ask Alexa what peanut butter tastes like, and her answer was childhood and freedom. It was some weird thing. It was 3 things. It was honesty, childhood, and freedom.
That is super weird.
Yeah.
So I have my house completely decked out with the Google Assistant, I guess is what they call it. And you have to say, "Hey Google."
Okay.
You can't. I think Alexa maybe you can change its name, which is really annoying because saying "Hey Google" sometimes when you're sleepy and you want, "Hey Giggles," it doesn't come out. But I have everything hooked up. So I have a thermometer. Not thermometer. I say that every fucking podcast. The temperature and stuff's all hooked in, and my doors, cameras, lights. What else? And all the TVs and the radios and stuff like that. So when I get up in the morning, I say, "Hey Google, good morning." It turns all the lights on, sets the temperature to 78. Plays all this stuff. I wish they have it get my coffee. Same thing when I leave. It does the same thing. I can ask to play music. I can ask to play things on the TV. But sometimes it doesn't hear you correctly, and it misinterprets what you say, and I will yell at it. I have yelled at it before. I'm like, "Fuck you," or I'll swear at it, and it will talk back to you.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't like you talking to me. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
That's how my house is completely hooked up. And it is, believe me, when you have kids, it's so nice to wake up and just say good morning and to turn 70 things on.
Yeah.
Does that interest you at all? Would you like something like that?
Yeah. Just a one-stop shop. There you go.
Yeah, all the time.
Get everything going.
Yeah. It's super nice. It's super nice.
Now I would need it to break up fights every morning between my 2 kids, and tell them to stop screaming at each other at 6:30.
Well, that's the thing. It's at point. Yeah. I think that might start happening. So I actually have my calendar and all this stuff hooked up.
Amazon parenting.
Yeah, and I have Amazons too. Amazon parenting. So I could also say, "Hey Google, tell." I have to say it this way. Tell Walmart to put such and such in my cart, and then it goes, "Let me get Walmart." And then in a different voice, it'd be like, "Hey, this is Walmart. What do you want?" It puts it in my cart and get delivered. So I didn't even touch anything for stuff to come to my house.
Yeah.
So I am full out on everything, and to the point where it even is telling me, "Dustin, you have a doctor's appointment. You need to leave."
Yeah.
But I'm afraid in the future, at some point, it's all going to be programmed. It's all going to be put in that I'm just doing what I'm told to do.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing?
You're doing what the computer tells you instead of the other way around.
Well, yeah, because it knows
responding to its commands.
Every 6 months, I gotta go to the dentist. Yeah, I'm at that point. So
yeah, it is good. For things like that, especially I'm starting to get busier, and I'm trying to book people and remember dates and post things and just things like that, and then keeping my life in order. Like you said, I had to cancel a dentist appointment a week ago. I'm glad you said that. Now I have to do it again.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
A giant cavity on my tooth, but I gotta get that. And then I have stuff with my kids' doctors and stuff like that. And if I don't write that down and have that, so it is nice to have that as helping. But I'm always kind of cautious. Because it's
gotta be mission creep.
All the information they take and stuff. But I don't think there's any avoiding it now.
No, it's impossible.
If they wanted to arrest me for the stuff I did, they would have by now.
Yeah. And the difference is, the difference, but what I'm noticing is the younger people are almost cyborgs.
Yeah.
Because they have such quick access, and they know they have such quick access. Yeah. So it's almost like you don't necessarily store things in your brain. You don't commit it to memory because everything's there and ready for you. But at the same time, I've talking to people of the older generation where it's you're trying to do a project, you're trying to put something together. And to me, I'm I can do this, and put all this together. And they're looking at you how'd you do that? Or why'd you do that? And I'm like, what do you mean? I just Googled it and then I did it.
Yeah.
And they're looking at you I can't read a PDF. I don't understand. And the disconnect, I think, from people, how people used to work to how younger people work, is so much grander.
I remember
than what it's been. That it's becoming an issue.
I remember my dad like being afraid to use like, not being afraid, but like being apprehensive about using like a debit card.
Yes.
Because where's that information going? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll use cash or whatever.
Yeah. My dad is the same. Like what he says, he uses the words push and pull, which it does make sense of what that means. He says, I don't like when they pull money.
Yeah.
Like I want to push money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's not really what's happening. I mean, they're pulling the money no matter what.
Yeah.
It's like you're just telling it okay.
Yeah.
You're saying okay, pull it.
Yeah.
The difference is because he doesn't like having bills set up to automatically do payment.
Yeah.
That would drive me crazy if I had to sit down and go through my bills and be like, okay, water bill, power bill,
That's
okay.
burnt me before multiple times.
Yeah, I would lose my mind doing that. But he has the exact opposite of he doesn't want to wake up and be like, oh my God, Comcast went out yesterday. How'd they take that out of my account?
Yeah.
You know, I want it all. I don't want to think about it.
It is, and it's the complete opposite. Like, and we were saying like, oh, I didn't want to order pizza. Like, I feel like the younger generation doesn't. If I told my younger brother to order a pizza on the phone, like, and talk to somebody, he'd be worse than me. Yeah.
My daughter has her own debit card now.
Yeah.
And she's still in that phase where she hasn't really used it.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back and I was like, you went ice skating. Like, how'd you get in?
Yeah.
And she was like kind of lying. She's like, oh, it wasn't working. I'm like, what do you mean the debit card wasn't working?
Yeah.
It was working. She was too scared. She asked, she said, took money from her friend to pay for it. I was like, you just put the card in.
That's how I was when I first got a card. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was also like 18. I shouldn't have been like, okay, I'm afraid of that.
But it is like scary. I mean, there are times now where it's like, do I swipe?
Yeah.
Do I push it in?
Or do you tap now? Like,
you
there's
tap
so many.
or you tap. Or not. Like, one thing I do love is when I go to Sheets in particular, is they have the thing for the watch, and I just got to hit this button twice.
Oh, really?
And I just go like this, and that's it.
Oh, really?
That's it. Pump my gas.
Oh, wow.
It is so nice.
That is super
See,
nice.
This is why you're gonna turn into one of these guys.
I am. I need to, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
it's so hard for me to just do anything different. So that's what I'm trying to like break into. It's like,
I think what happens
discomfort.
is it's basically what you said. You get to a point where you're so busy and you realize, wow, if I wanted to accomplish all these things, and I really need to be organized and be, hey, I got a podcast on Thursday. I got to meet with Dustin on Wednesday. I got to do, like, you got to really have that all set up in, like, your thing. I'm showing him my calendar. You guys are not being able to see us. And, like, I need, like, Google to tell me in the morning when to do all this stuff.
I'm a big fan of the color coding, too.
Oh, crazy color coding. Obviously, no one can see my calendar. I'm showing Chris my calendar, and it looks like I just threw up a rainbow on it.
I'm like the most like backwards person because I'm like the least organized with some things. Like I have clothes everywhere and stuff. But then like my CDs and video games are in alphabetical order or like from the release date.
Bandicoot 1, Bandicoot 2, Bandicoot 3.
Cortex Strikes Back, man. Don't even come at me.
You got
with
any
that.
Metal Gear on there? That's old PlayStation game.
I played what was it? Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor, okay.
The original one.
That is an old. Isn't that a Call of Duty game?
I don't
Was
know.
Medal of Honor Call of Duty?
I think it was its own thing that
It
stopped.
might have been its own thing.
Because I think when PlayStation 2 came out, that was like the last Medal of Honor.
Yeah, I definitely played Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
So, with smart cities is going to be like, I think what we're talking about, like, but just majorly exaggerated.
Yeah.
And like Tokyo, Japan is supposedly how this is going down. So like with all the things we're talking about, I believe it's going to be even more to the point where you're going to like drive towards a city.
Yeah.
You're not going to drive into a city. You're going to get off at like some kind of train or something goes down town. Some kind of automated vehicle will take you into the city. And then from there on out, you're just in their ecosystem.
Yeah.
Of like just smart apps and even people living in the city, I think will have some time. They might work, but they'll have that. I forget what the word is for it for government, but they'll have that automatic income because you live in the city, so you already have like city income or government income, and then maybe you're a designer and so that's your extra income. But everything else is basically like subscription based.
Oh, okay.
So you live in an apartment, but it's subscription based. You're paying rent, and it's really small. Like it's going to be super small, so it's only like there for you to sleep. You don't need to cook because you buy everything. Yeah, subscription based. You know, if you want to cook,
it's making me so claustrophobic just hearing that.
Right. If you want to cook, you have to like rent cookware, because why would you have it in your apartment? Because you're only gonna use it. So like,
Right.
you're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna show off to this woman. I'm gonna make pasta today.
Yeah.
And so you go on your app and you order the cookingware, and that will be delivered to you via drone or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can cook. And then when you're done, you take it back. And that's how I think the smart cities will work, because it's just the least amount as possible of things and stuff. Because the whole point is you not living in your house, is experiencing the city.
Okay.
So you go out, like in Tokyo.
Is this where it is, like Tokyo? Is that
Tokyo
where it's
has
starting?
things like this. So like, for example, in Tokyo, they have places where you can go take a nap.
Okay.
And it's not a hotel per se, because it's just like look at that wall over there and just think like 6 like huge circles, like stacked on top of each other, and you just get in there and you nap. It has a little TV and stuff like that, and you pay $20 or whatever it is, and you just nap in there, and you leave and go out through your day, through your automatic day. And everything is just programmed for you.
It sounds dystopian soon enough. We're all gonna be wearing gray jumpsuits, and then getting our like meal bar that we just eat and then go on.
It's people. Our meal bar is people. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a combination. Hopefully, it's not so dystopia, like socialist, kind of like where milk is literally labeled milk. Hopefully, it's not that far. I'm hoping it's basically kind of go in these buildings and you get to the bottom. This is more like how China and Japan, and then it's just awesome. Yeah, it's just like, oh, I want a hot dog. I want a sandwich. You know, all the vendors are there. I'm not driving to Walmart, getting in a shitty parking lot, walking 300 yards to a restaurant or whatever on concrete,
Let me ask you this: with all of that, and there's less like concern about certain things, do you think people will start making up more problems to have? Because I feel like that's the way society is. It's
already happening.
So if you take away less real problems in the future, does that mean more manufactured problems in the future?
There will be like obviously like space around you, I think. So since people are kind of having less to worry about and they're more worried about themselves, you see this happening already. They'll have like a safe space, like because they're walking around with their phones like this, and you get close, you're like, no, I want you to be away. So this was a news article actually for Smart House I didn't put down today, was the Facebook metaverse, which I believe they're calling Meta. But also their platforms are called like Horizon. No one's good with names, by the way, in a tech space. Jesus Christ, they cannot name nothing. Like it's Facebook, it's Meta, it's a metaverse, it's Horizon. It's just, it doesn't freaking matter. But anyways, they're trying to improve their safe spaces. Okay. So I think like if we are in VR together and we want to talk, I can have a button where you cannot get close to me. Okay. Because it is weird. Yeah. Because if you ever have in VR, it's like you can come up with like someone's hands like literally in your face, or they can act like they're touching you. So they're like, well, we should make a button for that. They're like, yeah, it's virtually weird to be molested in the meta. So they're adding all these things that you can turn off. But I guess the point was too is you can also turn it off. Yeah. Some people are weird and they want that and they want to be touched and stuff. So
how long before it's porn?
Yeah, how long? It's already porn. It's how long? It's already porn. But you're right. So how long it is till someone's walking in the city? Yeah. With their AR headset on. So now it's augmented reality. Yeah. And they're walking down. And maybe they're having.
I feel like people kind of walk through an augmented reality. Everyone in their own way.
Yeah. Everyone's their own hero. Everyone's their own hero of the story.
Yeah. But they're walking down the street, having sex and doing whatever. Yeah. You could do whatever. Yeah. You could get a hot dog out and take a nap hole. Whatever.
Head down. Hey, just go down the lefties, but down and go get my nap holes. Yeah. And then I'm gonna get blown as I go down 4th Street because that's a good time.
She's gonna meet you in the nap hole.
Yeah, meet me in the nap hole. Well, I don't want physical
apple and nap hole.
I don't want physical content. This is 2024. Yeah. We can't have physical connection.
Not real.
Yeah, like I could still do it with just thinking about it. You just plug into the apples and plug into Series and the senses just.
But then when is it going to be the same thing with like we were saying, like, okay, well, I'm going to eat whatever fiber thing I put in and whatever Google will tell me it tastes like steak.
Exactly. Google will. Oh yeah. See now you're thinking. Now you're thinking. This is what I want the podcast to be about. People just kind of guess. You're right. So what's you get to the point where it's convenience. You're just like gluttony, pride, love all this stuff. Where now they're just like, well, let's just tell them. Yeah. Like, why am I? Like, as a company, why would I make steak and spend money making steak? Where I'm just be like, let's just
make it taste like steak. Yeah.
The
price of beef is going up. The price of everything is going up. If we can make fake beef and tell you it tastes better than beef, better than beef. There you go. Put it on the
that's
put
totally
it on the shelf
possible.
right now.
I was watching a video a couple days ago. They had this monkey.
Yeah.
And at first they had him playing Pong.
Yeah.
He was just playing Pong, and he had the chip. He was plugged into a computer. Physically, you could see the wires into his brain.
Yeah.
And at first he was just playing Pong, and I guess the algorithm in the computer was like analyzing the data, trying to figure out. So obviously, like if he pushed this way, something flickered in his head. If he pushed left, this flickered in his head. Well, he did it long enough where like the computer, so he was just thinking about it. Yeah. So he had the controller there, and the monkey was using the controller because they were smart. It was a chimpanzee. But then they disconnected the controller, and it was still working. So the monkey was using the controller, it was doing it. But then they took away the controller, and the monkey was just watching Pong, and he was good at it, and he was doing it. So if we're having those kind of links, we should be able to have the kind of link. It tastes like steak. It tastes like ice cream.
It's like in Willy Wonka. They had the thing where they ate the thing, and then it tasted, this tastes like this.
Willy Wonka.
And now it tastes like a blue. I mean, you don't want to turn into a blueberry, but don't be a brat. And I think that was the point of that movie.
Weird is all the stuff in Willy Wonka is not like science fiction.
Yeah.
It's like...
There's a lot of stuff like that. Like, what's the Bruce Willis movie? The Element movie.
All of them.
Yeah. Like
Element. Who is... That was Sylvester Stallone. There's a Bruce Willis movie called Surrogates. Have you ever heard that one?
No, but it sounds like something. Bruce Willis is in a lot of kind of futuristic, like 13 Monkey, like all
13 Monkeys, great. That's an older film, right?
Yeah. I'm
sorry, I'm thinking 12 Monkeys.
Or maybe that's what
I was thinking 12 Monkeys with Brad Pitt. Maybe Bruce Willis is in that movie too.
Yeah, isn't he the main one? I think they're both in it.
I think he is in that movie. You're right. But anyway, Surrogates is in a movie where it's in the future. It's too dangerous to walk around outside. Yeah. Or it's not necessarily more dangerous. They just realize it's safer to have like humanoid robots walk outside. Okay. So you get into like a whole tube. Yeah. We're back in the tubes. And you get in a tube, and that tube puts you into this unit, kind of like VR, but you feel like you're in there. And now you're a walking robot. Yeah. And you can be anything, like in Fortnite. You can be any person you want. So some dudes are women, some whatever. Some people are fit. But Bruce Willis is like a slightly younger version of himself, and he's in a detective. Yeah. And obviously the whole point of the movie is like you can't die. Yeah. Because I'm walking around, my robot can get smashed up, but I'm fine in my pod. Well, someone figures out if you shock the robot, you can kill them. And now he eventually loses his robot, so he has to walk through society in his meat suit, and like his real suit. And now I'm saying I kind of want to go see it again because it's a really cool movie. It's not a great movie, but it's cool because you're like, yeah, that could happen. Yeah, that could totally happen.
Yeah, some of that stuff's scary, but we'll see.
It's all coming. It's all coming. It's coming faster than we thought.
Well, you see with the Impossible Meats and stuff too. So I guess like what we were saying, it's not too far away before it's a pill.
Impossible Meats. Have you ever had some Impossible Meat?
I haven't had it from Burger King. We have the restaurant I work in. We do like a veggie, like an imposter burger. I wasn't a big fan.
I'm okay with vegetarian food and vegan food. I don't get the whole like fake it. Yeah. Like if I want to have meat, I'll have meat. Yeah. If I want to have vegan, I'll have vegan. Yeah. I love green. You know, if I want to just have vegan, that's fine. I don't get the whole like, let's pretend that I'm eating burger. We're back to the pretend shit again. Yeah. Like what is it makes sense.
Enjoy the salad for the salad.
Yeah, enjoy the salad.
Or whatever. You know, whatever happened.
My opinion is obviously wrong because they're making millions. Making millions out there.
Well, Kanye is going to come up with his own meat, and you have to buy it, and it'll play his music, and you can listen to it.
It used to be a thing if you were a huge celebrity in music or especially movies, it was frowned upon to come and do like a regular commercial or like a fast food commercial. It didn't happen. Now Travis Scott's got burgers. We got
movie people want to do TV.
Kevin Hart. Commercials. Kevin Hart owns like 20 television shows. He has his own workout thing. Everyone has their own merch and stuff like that. It's crazy. There's movie stars doing insurance commercials. It doesn't matter anymore. It's make that money. Yeah. So speaking of that, guys, we are brought to you by nobody and nothing. We would love to have sponsors, but you can check out...
Those are my sponsors, too.
Yeah. You can check out thepitts.company because that's the network we are on now. You can check that out, and you can check out our Patreon, and you subscribe to that to help us out because we want to keep doing this. This is episode 13. We want you to do episode 14, 15, 16, and forever. We also have other podcasts on the show, like the Matt Light podcast, which I swear to God is coming back next week. Matt has been gone for like a month. He's just like, he goes through shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, we are momentum. We got videos. Yeah, Dustin, I'm coming in next week. And then he's like, I actually had to go back to work, Dustin. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I get these messages.
Is he in England now?
Yeah, and he's in England now.
Yeah.
He's in London now.
I
So,
saw
like,
him there. He was going to McDonald's.
You saw him in London? Were you in London?
No, I
too?
saw. He sent me a pic or a snap or something.
That's what I'm saying. We all live in the virtual reality. We're all together at all times. But yeah, so he took Wednesdays off. So he said he was supposed to be here today, but he wasn't. So he will be back next week. So the Matt Light Show will be back next week. I'll be back next week on Smart House with someone else. I'm also bringing back Yeah You Like This. I don't think you ever heard of Yeah You Like This. It's a great other comedian, funny show. I'll show you some clips later. Check that out. We're all going to have other things. Check us out on Instagram. We got a lot of stuff floating on there. We finally got some good videos and stuff like that. And Chris, tell them about your podcast and where you can find you, all that stuff.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. Just Poor Man's Podcast. There's another Poor Man's Podcast in like Texas. He's like a rugby player. You will very, very clearly be able to tell which one's me and which one's the other guy. I'm not a rugby player or black, so you should be able to tell the difference with me. I'm not. No.
To the viewers that are listening, Chris is not. He's a white.
Oh yes, I am. Chris Hopper. It'll say Poor Man's Podcast with Chris Hopper. So to look for that it's on all the Apple, Spotify, all those places.
It's on the interwebs and it's on the screen. So you
search for it. You'll find it on Google.
Search Smart House, The Pitts, podcasts.
All of them.
Old Man's Podcast. I almost called you Old Man's Podcast. It's Poor Man's Podcast. And you can, like I said, our network is The Pitts. Guys, thanks for watching and tune in next week.